But once you went into Iraq, you should have never, in a million years, you should have never just, I mean, you go in, you never won. You never won. But what a mistake Iraq was. And I heard Jeb Bush talking about it. First of all, it took him 5 days before he could give an answer. And after the pollsters told him what to say, he said it was bad. Now he's trying to backtrack, probably because his brother said, hey, wait a minute, you're killing me here. You said it's bad. That's my legacy, the Iraq War. The Iraq War is a disaster for the Bushes. That's why the last thing we need is another Bush. Believe me. Saddam Hussein, instead of him, you have ISIS. And instead of him, you have Iran taking over. So you tell me, was it worth what we paid for? Yes, sir.
Trump, you said the U.S.-Russian relations are destroyed. I'm going to fix it.
I said they're terrible. Not destroyed, but they're pretty well destroyed. I think I would have a great relationship with Russia and with Putin. Yes.
Would you roll back sanctions against Russia? And,
It depends. Depends. They have to behave also.
And why do you think you get along very well with Russia?
I think I'd get along very well with Putin. I know many of the people. I had a major event there 2 years ago in Moscow, as you know. It was a tremendous success. We had an amazing success, and I think I'd get along very well with Putin. And I think I'd get along with the leaders of the world very well. Many of them, not all of them. And the ones I don't get along with, they're going to have to pay. We have to make our country great again. And we're not doing it. We're going in the wrong direction. We're going like this. Laughing stock. We're a laughing stock all over the world. Okay? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Mr. Tucker, New Hampshire, a state with a huge heroin problem.
Yeah. New Hampshire has a huge heroin problem. I mean, per capita, the biggest in the whole country. Nobody would know that. But New Hampshire has a huge heroin problem. Education, working hard. You have to get people to understand the problems. It starts probably with OxyContin, from what I'm hearing. And you have to educate, and you have to do something very strong. But it does have a big problem. I've been hearing it from everybody. Bigger per capita than any place else. Yes, ma'am.
When are we going to start to see you roll out specific policies?
It'll be very soon. Yeah, I mean, I have some of the most brilliant people in the country working on tax, which I'm involved in very much because I understand the system very well, probably better than anybody that's ever run for office, if you want to know the truth, because I am part of the system. But we have some amazing people working on immigration. So I would say over the next 2 or 3 weeks, probably sometime during September. Okay?
Trump, aren't you worried about what Putin's done over in Ukraine?
So Ukraine is a problem. But at some point, don't you think that the countries of Europe should be a little bit more involved than they are? We're leading all these fights. And Ukraine is a big problem. Germany is a very rich, powerful country. Germany. Economically, tremendous power. Tremendous, unbelievable, unleashed economic power. Why isn't Germany? What, do we have to lead every fight? So Ukraine is a problem, and we should help them. But let Germany and other countries over there that are directly affected, let them work it. We get enough problems in this country. We have to rebuild our country. China and other countries have drained us. China has created the greatest theft in the history of the United States. I mean, if you think about it, it's the greatest theft in the history of the United States, the money they've taken out from us. It's a one-way street. So we have enough problems. Now, we back our folks, and we back our friends, and we want them to straighten out Ukraine. And I want to see it straightened out also. But don't you think maybe Germany and those countries directly affected should be fighting? It's almost like they don't even care. They don't even care.
Do you still think you'd get along with Mr. Putin?
I think I'd get along great with him. I think I'd get along great with him. Who knows? But I think I'd get along great with him. The man. How are you?
Rand Paul just spent 3 days here in New Hampshire and spent all this time criticizing you.
Well, that's because, yeah. Now, Rand Paul, you have to understand, is a disaster in the polls. He's a disaster on military and defense. He's getting decimated by everybody. And other than giving him a lot of money for an eye center, at his request, he asked me, could I have money? I said, absolutely, because I thought it was worthwhile. But I gave him a lot of money for an eye center, which is very hypocritical when you think of it. But other than giving him a tremendous amount of money for his Eye Center, which I'm happy about, frankly, because I'm sure they do good work. I hope they do good work. He is doing so badly that he figured he has to go out and attack Trump because I'm leading by a lot everywhere. And I don't mind. I think he's never going to make it. Never going to make it. Can't make it. Got the wrong message. I mean, this is not a time to be weak on defense. Okay? And I'm the opposite. I want to make our military so strong, so powerful, so great that nobody's going to mess with us. And I want to take care of our vets who are treated like third-class citizens. You know, 2 weeks ago on Wednesday, our vets, as you know, and you probably reported on it, because you have a big problem here with vets that are not taken care of properly. Our vets had the longest wait in the history of the VA, waiting for doctors in rooms. They'll wait 4, 5, 6 days. And in one case, they waited 5 days, and the doctor said, sorry, I'm going on vacation now. So our politicians all talk, no action. They're all the same. Our politicians have let the vets down. Rand Paul has let the vets down. He's let the vets down. So, but Van Paul, you know, I don't blame him. He's doing so poorly in the polls, so he attacks the person that's, you know, hey, look, I've been attacked now by Perry of Texas, and he went bing like a rocket ship, except in the wrong direction. I was attacked by Lindsey Graham, and he had 2 points. Now he has 0. Now, Rand Paul has very few points, but I think he's going down, too. And I'll say one further thing about Rand Paul, then let's not waste a lot of time. But Rand Paul is using the people of Kentucky. Either run for Senate and do a good job, or run for president. You don't run for president, and by the way, if I don't make it, I'll become your senator reluctantly. If I were somebody, a good, strong Republican from Kentucky, I would run against him in a heartbeat, and you'd win. Because the people of Kentucky are being used by Rand Paul. Now think of it. They're saying, oh, if he doesn't make it, we'll take him. That's not the way it works. The people of Kentucky should get a senator that wants to represent him, not a senator where it's a backup plan. So if I was in Kentucky, I would run against him, and believe me, I'd win. Yes, hi. Yes. I do, a lot. Good. Unbelievable. You hear that? It takes over 3 years to process one veteran's claim. No, I think they've run out of competence. They have incompetent people running it. And it starts with our senators and our congressmen and our president. And I run things properly. What I run runs properly. One of the things I will do is take care of our veterans. It's going to be very important. When you know, you're a perfect example. When you say 3 years to process a claim that should take 24 hours. Yes, ma'am. Look, he's a clown, Marty Walsh. I don't even know who he is. This guy, Marty Walsh, he spends all this time and effort and money on an Olympic bid, and then he goes out and you know, he's talking about ice bucket challenges. Get a real mayor. You know, he came out and he was strongly against when we had the original problem with, as you know, when I was totally misquoted. Now everybody's apologized to me. Illegal immigration. He said, oh, I don't like Trump's statements. Now everybody's apologized because I turned out to be right. And you've had massive crime. You had beautiful Kate in San Francisco and so many others, even 3 days ago. A 63-year-old woman, in fact, 66-year-old woman, was raped, sodomized, and tortured by an illegal immigrant. And they caught him. And it's just disgraceful what's going on. So I brought up, and I'm so proud of it, I brought up, and I took a lot of heat that first week and a half, a lot of heat. They called it incoming from you people, incoming. Now so many people have apologized to me, and it's become a mainstay of everybody's campaign. The problem is they don't know what to do about it. I do. I know how to solve the problem, and it starts with building a wall. Believe me. Okay. Yes, sir. I don't think he said that. No, I don't think he said that. Let me tell you something. Jeb Bush said that on women's health issues that he won't fund him. Then he apologized. You okay? Jeb Bush said that on women's health issues, he won't fund them. Whose phone is that? You ready? Third time. Ready? Jeb Bush said that on women's health issues, he won't fund them. Then he said, oh, I misspoke. I'm so sorry. I cherish women. Women will be taken care of better with a President Trump than anybody else, Republican or Democrat, anybody else. And, you know, you can look at my company. I have many women executives. They make, in many cases, more money because the second question, how many do you have? Many. And I'm going to be introducing them over a period of time, too. They're unbelievable executives. And they're paid almost, I think they're paid more. We're looking into it. We're studying it right now. But they get paid more. They're phenomenal. They're incredibly talented. And even years ago, in charge of major construction projects, I've had women in charge, which years ago was unheard of. So I've been way out in front. And Governor Baker should only dream about doing for women what I've done and what I will do. But on the women's health issue, there will be nobody better than Donald Trump.
What does that mean? Does that mean more funding, or I mean?
It might be more. You know what it means? Whatever it takes. That's what it means. Whatever it takes. Yes, ma'am. Bernie Sanders has gained a lot of traction.
In New Hampshire, what do you think that says about what voters are looking for?
Well, they're looking for real change. You know, Obama said they're looking for change, and look what we got. We got change. But they're looking for something different than what they have. And, you know, Bernie Sanders is not going to end up being the standard, but certainly he and I are getting by far the biggest crowds. I mean, look at the crowd tonight. Other people have 51 people, 54 people. We have 2,500 people, and 1,000 people or more than that are standing outside listening to microphones. So, and loudspeakers. So we have, you know, we've had tremendous crowds. I had 15,000 in Phoenix. We've had, you know, every crowd is a record crowd. Every crowd is totally sold out. And he's done the same thing on the other side with a very different philosophy, to put it mildly.
Rand Paul has come out with this ad that sort of brings together comments about supporting
Yeah.
health care and single-payer health care, supporting Hillary Clinton. How concerned are you? You said your positions have evolved, but how concerned are you that people are going to?
I don't think so. Look, I built a net worth of more than $10 billion. I've been a world-class businessman. All over the world I build. I have some of the great assets of the world. And that's the thinking. I don't say that in a braggadocious way. That's the thinking that our country needs to take our jobs back from China and Japan and Mexico and clean up the border, by the way, speaking of Mexico. But that's the kind of thinking we need to take back our jobs, bring back our money, bring back our manufacturing. You take a look at China, what they've done. They've taken our money, our jobs, our base, our manufacturing, and we owe them $1.4 trillion. That's like a magic act. They've taken everything, and we owe them money. You know, we owe, right now, China, $1.4 trillion. I'm telling you, it's like a magic act. How do they do? They get everything, and we owe them money. Not the other way around. Because we're led by people that don't have a clue. Honestly, I think we're led by stupid people. I don't think they're bad people. You know, it used to be they said, it's so bad, it has to be that they're bad people. I actually don't think, I think they're very stupid people. Our leaders don't have a clue. They're incompetent. And China is a great example. I met with Carl Icahn, one of the great business people, and I had dinner with him 2 nights ago. And I said, Carl, if I do this, I'm going to put you in charge of China, and I'm going to add in Japan. And you know what? Everything's going to be just fine for us. Going to be just fine. We have people negotiating for us that they have no idea what they're doing. They're not even business people. And remember this, Bush and Hillary and all these people, they have a lot of money. They raise a lot of money from my friends. I used to be one of them. I contribute to everybody. And they're always there for me. But that's not good for the country. That's not good as a system. But Jeb has raised $114 million, approximately. Everybody that puts money up for Jeb Bush, it's like he's a puppet. He's totally controlled by these people. Jeb Bush is controlled by the people that put up the money. And so are the other candidates. I don't want money from people other than small donations because I have so many people writing it. One woman sent $7, another one sent $20. I love that where they invest in my campaign. They invest. I don't want that for the money. I want that because psychologically I think it's great. But Jeb Bush has $114 million. What's he going to do with it? He'll start hitting me with ads, I guess. You know, at some point he's got to, because he's going down the tubes. The guy's going down the tubes. There's no energy. So when Jeb and Hillary and all of these other candidates start spending money, remember this, that money was given by people that have total control over them. And those people, many of whom I know very well, they don't care about him. They don't care about the color of his hair. They don't care anything about him. And they don't care about the country in many cases. They only want whatever they want, and they'll get plenty. Yes, sir.
Many of the people who
Yeah.
contributed, we don't know who they are. Would you call on Jeb Bush to have his PAC release the names of the donors?
They should release the names of the donors. I think we should be much more open, talking about campaign finance. I think we should be much more open. If somebody contributes a lot of money, we should know who those people are.
Citizens United, did you think that was a bad decision? Would you agree?
Well, it's not a great decision for me, and they're friends of mine. David Bossie, they're friends of mine, because I'm putting up my own money. So here you have other people putting up money into other campaigns where they'll have total control. 100%, Katie, they will have control of those people that are running for office. One of the reasons I've done so well in the polls is because everyone knows I'm not going to be controlled. I'm going to do what's right for the country. No lobbyists. I have all these lobbyists. I know them all. I've hired many of them over the years. They're very good. But when they give $1 million or $5 million to Jeb Bush, they have total control over him. He will do like a puppet whatever they say. With me, there's none of that.
Would you push for legislation to change that?
I love the idea of campaign finance reform. And one of the things you should do is everybody should be known. If somebody gives $1 million or $2 million or $5 million, it should be known. And I will tell you this nonsense with PACs where they have millions of dollars raised, $100 million raised, and they don't coordinate with the other people. I mean, Bush puts his best friend in there. They don't talk. You're not allowed to talk. Do you really believe that that doesn't happen? Okay? They're not allowed to talk. Okay? They play golf on Saturday, but they don't talk about the $100 million or where they're going to invest. Come on. We're not babies. It's a shame. It's a disgrace. And what I would like to see is if you put money up, you can put money into either or both. Do whatever you want. But there has to be transparency. You have to know where the money's coming from. And that would help. Limits okay. I mean,
Having a woman as the vice president, what women do you have in mind?
I would love to have, I think the concept of a woman running with me would be fabulous. Too soon to say.
Charlie Fiorina?
Well, I think that they'll be probably involved at some point because there's a lot of pressure on Hillary right now. It's been brutal. It's been brutal for Hillary. And I think at some point she's perhaps not going to be able to run. She's going to have to end her campaign. That seems to be the thinking by so many. And I was saying that 2 months ago, and everyone thought, what are you know, not right. But it looks to me like what they've done. This is top secret stuff. Look, General Petraeus, his life was destroyed with a tiny fraction of what she's done. So it's very unfair to him if they're going to destroy him over doing, by comparison, nothing. I don't see how she can run. I think she's got much bigger problems than running for office. Yes, ma'am. Corey, how much longer?
Last question.
Okay, last question. We'll do 2 more questions. Go ahead.
Giving these donations is bad for the country. Does that mean when you were giving these donations to politicians, you were doing something bad?
No, I don't think donations, when people don't know who's donating, are good. I think the concept of donations should be, people should know who they are and who's contributing. I would rather see that. Don't forget, while I'm friends with Citizens United, and I like him, and I like David Bossie, who's the head of it all. I love him. I think he's a great guy. But to me, that doesn't help because I'm spending my own money. Okay? So on a personal basis, I don't love it. I think there should be better transparency. And I think when the money comes in, you should be able to use the money and do what you want, because that's what they do anyway. Everybody does it, unfortunately, not us, because I'm not doing it. But these candidates are doing it illegally because they're telling the people that are running the PACs exactly what to do. And if anybody thinks they're not, they're children. I'll be doing jury duty. Can you believe I'll be doing jury duty on Monday morning? I knew you'd ask me that question, Caddy. I will be doing jury duty on Monday morning in New York City.
Court or district court?
I don't know. It's one of the courts.
Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's fine.
Regarding specifics on policy, why not have that stuff rolled out?
It's going to be rolled out soon. Thank you very much. I will see you.
Still gonna get free helicopter rides?
I don't know. Are we giving helicopter rides? I think so. I hope so. To the kids.